Are you sick of these mutants running the streets, destroying your hard work and your life's goal of creating the best mechazoids out there to help humanity reach the new level of evolution? Well, so is Bishop. And Bishop is here to stall out games, take away your resources, and overall do everything that the evil and void symbols were designed to do. This is Bishop Universus, and I'm here to talk about Bishop, Robotics Engineer, and my deck that I built that is a slog. Now, there are some issues with the deck, and yes, and R&D have already told me to make changes on this, but I wanted to try and do this as a journey. So let's talk about my first draft of Bishop, how I'm finding the deck, and what improvements I think need to be done, and the pitfalls that I have made making this deck, which has caused games to be quite an issue. Now to be fair, I've only got a couple of games in with here, and one of those games was an hour and 10 minutes TTS game against Caduceus, where I was hitting them, they were healing, and eventually we stalled out to what would have been a draw in locals, but I did deck out on TTS. My opponent had no attacks left, and every time I attacked, they were immediately able to use Caduceus to heal up and essentially outdo. So what I needed to do was kind of build up to utilize my tools, but unfortunately they had nothing left for me to use. But I'll get into that in a minute. So Bishop is a 7 hand size, 22 health character from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universus set that dropped in August of 2025. Has the evil and void symbol. The evil symbol is great for causing your opponents to have negative checks. Utilizing these control aspects to say, stop hitting me, you're going to lose more of your resources. I'm going to manipulate your checks, force you to overcommit, and eat. But it does have the caveat of the majority of evil cards do not end your opponent's turn for failing a check, meaning all they lose is a card from their hand, which is where Void also steps in, because Void also loves to punish your opponent, removing resources, removing attacks, discarding cards. Essentially, they're both symbols that are designed to be control unfun aspects. They're forcing you to play against what you would normally do in the game. Now, this is something that you can see throughout the attuned cards on here, and the non-attuned cards kind of fill in the rest of the gaps, allow me to hit a little bit harder. Bishop has two very powerful abilities. One is an enhanced. This attack is +1 speed for every 4 cards in your stage. She does count herself. So if you build 3 foundations with Bishop and pass, all of your attacks are immediately going to get +1 speed. And response, once per turn, after you check an asset with a printed difficulty of 3 or less, you get to build it. So on offense or defense, you get to build assets, which is very important. So we'll start off with the assets. So let's start off with Donnie's Bowstaff, a 0 diff, 5 control, 3 mid block, enhance, add this card to your hand, void attuned, and with breaker 2. So the established players will already know what this card's meant to do, but for the newer players coming to look at here and just looking for an interesting Bishop deck, you can use the enhance on Donnie's Bowstaff to pick it up, giving you an out to block with, and then adding that breaker 2 is going to give -2 to your opponent's next check, meaning that they can second guess at what they're going to do. If you check this with Bishop while she's ready, you can build it in and essentially increase your hand size by 1 defensively. We're running a 1-of military airship. This is a very cool card, and it's a 3 diff, which means I get to build it in immediately. This can lead to offensive and this can lead to surprise offense and defense your opponent was not expecting. And although it does have that freeze aspect to it, being able to just commit it and pick something up can keep you alive or can give you the resources you need to get that kill. Now, the next one we're running here is a 1-of Cabal's Ruin. This is a 6 check, 1 difficulty, 2 high block, unique vestige from the Critical Role Heroes of Exandria set. If your rival attacks your character and deals no damage, add 1 charge counter to this card. Now, this can be counterintuitive with what we're doing with things like Genkais and Cape, but you will see that we have got some very good blocking options, and getting these charge counters was my way of kind of going, I have a damage output if I need it, because with Enhance, commit Cabal's Ruin, Remove all counters from this card. This attack gets +2 damage for each counter removed this way. If you remove 5 more, each player mills 10. Bishop is an inventor, which means like you get the inventor thief enhance that says this attack gets -1 speed, making all your opponent's attacks easier to block. Moving on from there, we've got a 2 of Tattered Costume. This is a unique 5 diff, 2 control, 2 high block, and with a response, sacrifice after your rival plays an ability on an action or a keyword ability, cancel that ability and draw 1 card. So if my opponent is attempting to equipment heist, Genkai's Guidance, City Rampage, Breaker Me, Echo, Powerful, you get to refill your hand and you get to cancel that ability your opponent was relying on. And because again it's a 2 difficulty, we can build it in with Bishop, leading to new lines. So if we use one and then check on the block or check, we can build one in. After that, the last asset, and I know I'm not running enough assets in Bishop. I am scared of running too much green and not having my resources. That is something I need to address because there are some cool anti-mutant. There's the anti-mutant asset I should be running. There's some other very cool assets that should be in the deck. But I wanted to round up my assets with a Cape of No Return. 3 difficulty, 4 check, 3 high block, unique, which means there can only be 1 on your stage at a time. Enhance remove this attack from the game.
I'll go 10 stroke kicks on a 4, checks a 5, any response?
No response on play.
I will go to enhance. I have. So why did I add these cards in then? Okay, must have misread them. I will give it 2 speed. This deals damage. I draw a card.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just get yeeted.
Yep.
So if you're struggling to deal with an attack, if you know you can't stop this attack and you're worried about it, Cape just gets rid of it. Now the very cool thing about this is I get to build it in with Bishop, which means I can have access to surprise defense that I never thought I was going to see before. This is very strong, very powerful, and I absolutely love it. Let's look at the attack lineup. We have Technological Advantage. A 4 difficulty, 4 high for 4, 1 high block, amazing block zones with Blitz. If there's an asset in your stage, draw a card. That's all it's here for. It's a cheeky poke that says, I'm Bishop. Chances are I have an asset in play. I get to draw a card. I'm not going down anything. You're either going to take 4 damage or you're going to consume resources blocking this. Because although it says it's a 4 high for 4 here, what it actually is a 5 high minimum. And because of Bishop, and it's just going to keep getting faster.
This has a speed.
Technological advantage checks. Any response on play?
No responses.
Let's Blitz and draw a card because I have an asset. First enhance, I will Hacker, spend a momentum, and draw a card.
Yeah. I will sacrifice Azure. Actually, do I sacrifice anyhow? No, I don't. I will Lip Hold on Tight if it deals damage I draw.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I sacked the cape. 3 speed.
I'll pass.
Get smacked for 4.
I'll take 4 and draw a card.
Although cheeky pokes might not seem like a lot at the beginning of a match, towards the end of a match, those cheeky pokes do add up. Now, controversially, I'm running 2 unyielding destructions. This is part of why I don't want to run too many assets. Deadlock is getting... How I don't want to run too many assets. Deadlock is getting more scarce. There was no Deadlock in TMNT. Deadlock is becoming a lot less of a threat. And we're starting to see decks take advantage of that. Rodan can now build to infinity and not have to worry about it as much. So my philosophy is build better. And this has got 6 damage on face, which is something that Bishop struggles with. It destroys all but 4 foundations, which means I can get it to possibly, if I get very lucky, 4 or 5 speed. It's very cool, but it forces my opponent to block, and I don't use this early. I'll get into that when I go into my foundations, but this is what I play at an end of a string to go, I didn't kill you, I need to stop you from killing me. Let's drain some resources.
Yeah, I didn't have
Unyielding destruction on a 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any responses?
I don't have any cards in hand. I can't draw anything.
Yeah,
so
but we're still going to sacrifice all but 4 cards in our stage, foundations in our stage, because I'm not a nice person. There's a foundation that really helps that, but R&D keep trying to convince me to take it out. Now, Sweeping Daggers is a card that people know I'm not overly impressed with. What I am impressed with its ability to do is remove attacks from my opponent's discard. Bishop is not here for a good time. Bishop is here for a long time. So if I can start removing your key killer pieces from your discard, I can start relaxing a little bit more. Yes, your checks are going to get better, but your chances of drawing attacks is going to get infinitely worse. Sweeping Daggers on a 4. Checks are 3.
It's a 3.
4. It's going to pick up. Let's remove Recipio Turbo. Do I have a daggers in discard? I don't know.
No, you don't.
Go to enhances.
No, it's Blitz.
Wait, Blitz remove that, and I've Blitz to get all the abilities. I'm not going to daggers and nothing else.
Yeah, good point.
I will draw a card.
I can't do anything, so yeah.
Why is it? You didn't let me draw a card. Oh, no, I did not draw a card. Let's give it speed. With Bishop.
I will pass.
Yeah, I don't need my non-attack class to do stuff, so... Sure, 6-4.
I'll take 4.
Especially if I start caping and genkaizing and just utilising these abilities. Sweeping Daggers, absolutely beautiful, especially in the world of the backup decks. If someone's running a Harness Undeath, Sweeping Daggers becomes infinitely stronger. Now, Sweeping Daggers does have some issues into specialty decks. If you're coming up to, say, a Ryu Punches list, or a Caduceus pump damage list, you can find attacks that don't really do anything for you, but the main goal of Sweeping Daggers for me is to thin out my opponent's attack lineup and also take away key pieces that they will hopefully looking to utilize again. Along the similar lines, we're running 3 Violent Animus shots. This is not by no means a cheap deck. It's a very expensive but powerful deck. Backups are a thing. Backups are just going to keep growing. And as we see more things coming in with the transform aspect, backups are just going to keep ingraining themselves into the core of this game. Right Shot is a powerful attack with a backup removal on face that has very limited interactions. Violent Animus Shot on a 6. 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, if I don't, I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Do you have another attack in hand, Mike?
That's the question.
Oh my god, I think, do I have a response on play?
If only I had a way to get more attacks into my hand.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But is it enough damage?
It probably, honestly, I think it would very well be, because if I don't block, you'll just remove this card from my hand. Yeah, I guess I'll just pass it.
Free speed.
I'll pass.
I could give it 2 more speed, but I'll just leave it done. Sure, 7-5.
7, 9, takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, respond, gain 2 health, and I'll take 3.
Unless your opponent's running a cool edit, so an aerial goblin bolt, they're not going to be able to stop you, and if you're using this as your first attack, aerial goblin bolt isn't that much of an issue anyway. Being able to remove a backup, meaning it can never come back, immediately give this flash and draw a card is very strong, and if it deals damage, you can remove another card from your opponent's hand. If you don't, you then get to give it speed with Bishop, which means it doesn't have the flash, but you don't draw, but you can still try and pump it through. And it's a low block with Breaker, which is a very rare commodity. Moving on from that, we have the Ice Sword Execution. With these decks that are now running fewer and far between foundations, they're running a lot of the same foundations. So I'm able to commit more of my opponent's resources down, be able to deny them access to stuff in my turn, is very powerful. With all these pokes and all these low damage attacks like Sweeping Daggers and Technological Advantage, the chance that I'm going to have a bit of momentum, which means I can also freeze one of my opponent's key pieces and then also give this 5 damage. I can get this up to a 5, to an 8, 10, a 9, 10, a 10, 10. It can be very powerful if I can build my board out correctly. The last card is kind of a staple for when I'm playing Void, Rejuvenating Smash. Rejuvenating Smash is a 5 diff, 3 control, 1 mid block, 4 mid for 6, with EX3 on face and response. After you play this card, if it was the second card you have played this turn, draw 2 cards and gain 2 health. So although you can play it on a 6, you can then gain 2 health, draw 2 cards, and have this very powerful ability. And it also works on block. So if this is the second card you play on a block, you still get to refill your hand more. And then also on top of that, draw more card, heal back up. And it has a response. If you have discarded a card this turn, it has an enhance. If you discard a card during this enhanced step, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So if you're able to discard cards with something like Botan's Coaching, then you are able to then get more momentum to feed into the EX. This can become a very powerful attack very quickly.
I will also pass 7 low for 4.
7 low for 4. Half on an 8. Checks 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gain 2, draw 2, then lose 2. So the attack lineup is designed to keep us alive, stop dangerous clapbacks, deal with our opponent's board, refill themselves, and just deny resources. Now, action-wise, I'm running 2 Genkais. I only own 2, or I would possibly increase this to a 3 or 4. Destroying 3 foundations, that's fine. We're not here for a good time, we're here for a long time. And Genkai's guidance will then just immediately rip through them. And then also we have first form remove, discard a card, your rival discards a card. So although you're going down 2 cards, you can then immediately throw down the Rejuvenating Smash on a 5. It's the second card you've played this turn thanks to Genkai's, which means you draw 2 cards, heal 2 health. So your opponent's down 1 and you're back at 5 cards. This is a very cool ability. And the ability to just respond, destroy 3 foundations after you have played an attack, remove it from the game, will keep you alive. These are buttons that you push to try and go, you're not hitting me. And because it's removed from game, they're not going to see that again until the next game. So it makes your opponent, again, just like sweeping daggers and cape, it's designed to take down what your opponent's doing. And because it has no remove cost on face, when you cycle, chances are you're going to get to see those Genkais again. Moving on to the foundations. The foundations, again, are designed to refill the hand, slow down opponent's attacks. It's a very control aspect defensive build. So we have keeping area safe, which allows it to ready itself when stunned, keeping my resources up. Hacker, if I end up taking 5 out, Hacker is a 2 diff, 4 control, 4 high block, which is very bad. But response commit, if you take 5 more damage, you add the top card to your momentum, and then a tenacious once per turn, which lets you spend the momentum to draw a card and flip a rival foundation. This can turn off Massive Mute Machine. This can turn off their own capes. It's a great way of keeping yourself alive and denying your opponent's resources, as well as drawing cards. Because like I said, we're going to play lots of pokes that people don't really want to block. So Hacker turns that into draw. Ultra Regeneration is a bit of a shaky one, but does offer some very cool draw power and what can help keep us alive. Botan's Coaching, a 0 diff 5, which says flip, both players discard a card, draw a card. That can put Rejuvenating Smash online, it's great in filtering, and it can take your opponent off the defensive strategy they were looking to use. Rifle Arm and Incubation are both speed reductions. Rifle Arm commits for -2, or if it's the first attack they've played, it's -3. And Incubation allows me to remove cards to give -1 speed. Defensive pieces that are just great to keep you alive. Battle for Dominance allows me to remove a card in my card pool on defense to draw a card, clearing progressive and refilling my hand. While Treasure Hunting, if my opponent has 15 more cards in the discard, you get to draw a card. If you don't, then you draw a card, discard a card. Moment of Normalcy can reset my attack or my opponent's attack to its printed speed or damage, allowing you to make something that would be lethal, not lethal, or make something that was unblockable, blockable. Or make something that you couldn't block due to speed a lot more blockable. Now, Cool Edits is a very powerful card, and it treats itself like an asset similar to Extra Supplies, which means if I check one of these with Bishop, I get to build it in. I get to build a foundation for free, which is very powerful.
I'll pass 7/7.
On a 9. 5, I'll respond with Bishop to build this in because it's an asset.
Yeah,
Cool Edits has flipped after your rival plays an plays a blitz ability. Cancel it. This is only going to get more powerful as we see more blitz effects, because we haven't really seen an enhancing attack for a very long time. So this is a very powerful card to have, to basically just go, you don't get to do the thing. And seeing there are so many cards now trying to do their thing, Cool Edits should be pretty much a staple for any Void character. And the last one, which I saved, which R&D are trying to tell me to kind of take away, is extra supplies. Again, this is treated like an asset, so I can build it in. But response, flip. After you make a check, you may commit assets as though they were foundations to pass that check. This is what I was talking about with the unyielding destruction, where I can flip it and use the assets that are in play to pass the check. So I don't go down on my defensive resources. I can leave myself 4 ready foundations for my opponent's turn, commit my assets to pass the check, and just blow up my opponent's board.
On a 7.
yeah. I think you got
5. Well, I'm going to get 3 more damage, won't I? Respond, Bishop, build this in.
Uh-huh.
Then let's flip here and use these 2.
It's very cool, very powerful, and a nice interaction that not many 2 characters are going to be able to take advantage of. Just be able to pass that check, and it can also turn an attack that I was not able to block if my opponent doesn't read my cards and thinks you can't block this, and I just go cool, block, flip extra supplies, commit out, block the attack. They go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's a very powerful deck. Now, inside my sideboard is literally just more denial, stopping her from stopping actions, Nonagon sealing attacks, protecting Yukina, stopping throws, Dimension Sphere removes attacks, and filled with seal attacks. You can see this is a very denial deck. Now, what R&D want me to do is put in Icy Blade, which is another 3 diff, which I'd have to take out an extra supplies or cool edits for, because Icy Blade gives you because Icy Blade checks for you, so it gets you more Bishop interaction, and also can give you damage if you check well or pass the check. So I understand that, I get that aspect, but to me, I don't know if it's worth it for the 1 damage. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is it worth it for 1 additional damage to run Icy Blade and get that extra Bishop interaction? And what do you think of this deck? I think its biggest hole is that it needs more damage, and Icy Blade would help with that. But I need to think of other ways to pump up the damage output, because this deck can string, this deck can defend, this deck can do what it needs to do to stay alive, but it's really struggling to kill. And that is where I would like your help to offer me some suggestions as to how I can change this deck to get more, to make the game, to change it from Bishop being here for a long time, not a good time, to a good time. I want to have fun playing this deck. I want my opponent to have fun playing against this deck, because at the minute, playing against people, they just feel like they're playing against a wall. And some people might enjoy that, but I know a lot of people don't. So let me know what your suggestions are in the comment below. And if you think that Bishop is a bit too strong, I personally think she is on a watch list for assets that come out, and all she needs is 1 busted asset before she gets the Cassandra treatment. But I will see you at game night, where you'll probably see me with my Mechazoid army. I'll catch you there. Bye.
Checking asset, building asset, checking asset, building asset, checking asset, building asset.